Alright, I'm back. So, here's what we're looking at down here. If I can find my light, it's right there. If you see, let me also turn on the camera's light as well. As you can see, I got the pedals in. Yay. Okay, there's some minor touch-up things I gotta do. I gotta drill the bolt holes for the rest of the bracket bracing for the clutch pedal, and then I also there's a hole up top that attaches to the top of the dash that I gotta drill and tap to put a bolt through there, and then it'll be in there. And then I gotta put in the pigtails and everything, wire up the clutch neutral safety switch, and then we ready to rock. And it took a lot of work, so here's what I had to do. First, getting the pedal assembly out was kind of, I wouldn't say it was some work. Yeah, I grabbed the pedals for you guys. I'll be right back. There's a set of same 7 or 8 millimeters all across the top of the dash that connects the top of the dash bed. Or there'll be like Phillips, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 5 or 6 Phillips screws at the top that hold in the dash pad, and I have the dash pad often in my room, and I'll show you guys a video of that. But you take the dash pad out carefully because the dash pads on the 3rd and 4th gen cars are known for cracking. They are fragile and they are not cheap to replace, and you'll be hard pressed trying to find one. Once you do that, there is going to be a bolt right here, a bolt over there as well. You can unbolt the speaker braces. That way when you drop it down, it doesn't it's not hanging off the speaker wire. When you put the pedals in, you can cut some of the little heat shielding, whatever, right there. That's what I did to help. And there's also going to be some at the top that helps. Oh, I forgot to mention, there is this right here. That's where the brake booster arm, whatever you can call it, goes on here. There's a clip that keeps this from backing off. Be careful with that clip, it will fly out. I lost it for like a day, but I found it today, and it's in there. You got to take that off to take off the arm. That way you can take the pedals off. Take the brake booster. You're gonna take the brake booster, you're gonna push it up and over and out. That way you can slip the pedals up over about where the holes go, and then you can push this all the way back in. This is the part you would need a second set of hands, because as you're pushing the pedals on, it will catch on the threads on this and then push the booster out. So once you got the holes lined up, you push the pedal assembly on the 4 bolts. It's right there. You're gonna they're like nylon lock nut bolts. You snug those up on there, decently snug. Because this adjusts at the top, you don't really have to worry about snugging those in later. I just load those in now because I can adjust that. Plus I gotta drill a hole anyway, and I gotta drill a hole for the bottom bracing that also connects to the clutch reservoir. That'll come through those 2 holes and you bolt it down. Once you do that, you got the holes and everything drilled up. You're gonna put in your pigtails and everything. Put in your clutch reservoir. Make sure you bleed the clutch reservoir before you going in. Make sure you prime it, basically. Attach the clutch. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then you can push the steering column back up on the studs, bolt it back up, put your dash back together there. Now you got clutch pedals. And then the next part you would have to do is, and then the next part I have to do actually, I have to go in, I have to mark out where I have to cut for the shifter to come through. I have to cut that. And then once that's cut, I have to solder in everything for the clutch neutral safety switch, which would get soldered into this pigtail right here. And then I would run the clutch reservoir brackets and everything. Clutch reservoir would sit about right around here somewhere. The cylinder actually, and the reservoir will sit down there. And the reservoir will sit up here off of bracing that goes to the master cylinder, the slave cylinder, and the master cylinder. And then I would run the lines to the transmission transmission. Now I got a manual swap. So yeah, this was a lot. I didn't really get a good video of me doing this, seeing how like I didn't have a second set of hands and I wanted to get this done completely today. And plus I think it would be easier to just tell you, because a lot of it is really not that hard. When you go through and you look through, like the main biggest things you gotta do is take off the dash, lean it down a little bit, and then push that bracket off and push it through. Once that bracket is just off and through, you're golden. Like, put the dash back up, you can slip the pedals in. Okay, so this is the dash pad. Yeah, the dash pad. This is the dash pad. This is on top of the dash on these third gen and fourth gen cars. As you can see, we have provisions for the vent, for AC, and for the speaker. This is also for AC. Now, this one you can't see because for it being like 30 plus years old, it's actually still in pretty good condition. You can see underneath here. Yeah, it's starting to split right there, but that's only right there. It's not a problem, seeing how it's still soft. But this is completely molded together back then. And this right here is like 700, around 600, in between $600 and $800 just to buy one of these without the dash pad. We can buy the dash pad that replaces the top of this and fixes, like, hides the blemishes and can protect the top of this dash from ever cracking for like $300. But this is a whole dash pad. This is really hard to come by because normally they're cracked right here on the edge where people hit their knee on, or they're cracked somewhere in the middle, or specifically on the speaker rail areas, because the sunlight hits them and it dries them out and makes them brittle. This one, you can feel it's actually got some give to it still. Yeah. Wait, screw that intro. Wait. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, share to your friends. We at 47, 46. Are we? I think we're at 47 subscribers. Let's get up to 50. And once we hit 50, let's try to hit 100. Once I hit 100, like, it's up there. It's uphill from there. Like, I can keep going. And then I also have stickers for sale. SSC stickers for sale. They're $5 a pop. They look really cool. You can see those on my SSC page that I will be linking in the description below. And you would just message me from there for stickers, how many you want. I said PayPal, Cash App, and Zelle. Yeah, but thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate the support.